This is a 1997 McLaren F1 GT. For this episode of Unique Tuning, I've decided to tune it based off Gordon Murray's T.50 supercar that will be released later this year, as we've had a sneak peek of the specs, so we can get a better impression of how much horsepower it produces as well as the engine. Unfortunately, we can't use the 3.9 litre V12 or something similar, which revs to a gargantuan 12,100 RPM, but we can make it develop over 660 horsepower, as well as give it some aerodynamics that will kind of give it a race car for the road type feel. I didn't go overkill with this build, however I was able to get the gearing correct, so all the gearing ratios that you see are accurate. So with it being a very slick car, let's take it on a couple of tests, starting off with its top speed. Let's see how this beast does in the quarter mile. The moment of truth, the track test. So off the line in the T.50 McLaren, so we're already at 100 miles an hour as we go through the first sort of turn. And it's very nimble indeed, not much steering input, and it's just very darty to it. I'm being a bit cautious because the speed is mind-boggling, and as you know, with it weighing over 900 kilos curb weight, it's mad. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it to a realistic weight, so this would actually accelerate quicker in the real world than the Gordon Murray T.50. However, it's a good impression of how it would be if you obviously were to modify that kind of car, you know, give it even more weight reduction than it already has. I mean, the power to weight ratio is absolutely massive, comparable with some hypercars of today. So with nearly 700 horsepower per tonne, this is going to be formidable. And as you can see, just under 50 seconds on this lap. So let's see how it does competitively. So it crossed the line at about 170 miles an hour, if not more, depending on how much speed you carry through there. I'm really being cautious, trying to carry enough speed. It does push itself out of line. Then again, I wanted to make it realistic, not a race car, but something you could use on the road. Ironically, it handles like one. But no, so we have, let's just say, a homologated race car that can be used for daily use. Obviously, a long-tail version of the McLaren F1, this can't quite hit 240 miles an hour because of the aerodynamics, but the horsepower means the acceleration is much greater, especially up in the high rev range. But here we go, so we're on the back straight, let's see what we can get. And it's about 47.5, that is incredible. So that's what we have here, and it is a new king of the leaderboard. So we've had our 3, so it's time to start the track time leaderboard. Thank you very much for watching, hope to see you in the next one.